All right. Hey, welcome to my vlog, right? This is my vlog where I tell the story, the ongoing story of this universe that I created. And I had a false start uh, last year. I thought for some reason in my brain, I felt that I could just roll out a bunch of songs. But they once I started listening to them, I didn't like them. So I did a reset. I restarted everything, and I did it this year. And so far, I did 6 songs for Chase Dagwood, 7 songs for Eddie Clive, and now I'm introducing a new character called Dr. Clarissa Cates, and I'm very excited about this. This whole thing is going to be a big experiment. I'm going to take this one video and chop it up later, like I like doing on my Wednesday. I do my Wednesday morning 5-minute thing. So we're going to go into the first 4 songs of Dr. Clarissa Cates, who is a psychiatrist, and she's obsessed with curing mental illness. And this is because when she was younger, she had a best friend named Marilyn, and they were very precocious. These kids, they were like maybe 9 or 10, and they were talking about world politics and science and wormholes and all stuff that would probably make adults laugh and chuckle, but they were way ahead of their time. And they always had this little banter going between them, but one day the banter got very serious, and Marilyn, the debate got very heated, and Marilyn started reading into everything that she was saying, and they had this terrible blowout as kids. Mind that they're best friends, right? And then the next day, she didn't hear from her, and she didn't hear from her for like about a week or something. And so she decided to call over to her, and Marilyn's parents told her that she was in a psych ward, and this really distressed her, distressed Clarissa, and she went and visited her, and Marilyn was just so mean and wouldn't have anything to do with her, and was reading into everything and felt like she had enemies all around her, and it was very distressing to her. And eventually, Marilyn ended up doing one of the most horrible acts ever, committing suicide. And this left an intense mark on Clarissa, Dr. Clarissa Cates. She would later become a doctor, of course, and her main focus was to understand mental illness, and in her childlike mind wanted to find the cure for it. So we're gonna do about 7 songs, I think. Jeffrey, what's up, dude? Right on, my man. Thank you for saying hi to me. I appreciate it, Jeffrey. We're into. It seems like we're into similar stuff. You like the, Jonathan Richman, but we're going to do an experiment here. And so, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to do this little share screen, and I'm going to go first to this page right here. This is my YouTube page, you guys. All this you could find if you click on my link tree link. It's in the description and in the chat, and I'll put it in the comments later. But go to the link tree and you can find my YouTube. And I'm keeping it really simple here. So far I've worked on Chase Dagwood. He's got 6 songs and 6 storytelling based on those songs. Over here we have Eddie Clive, which is 7 songs. I like both these guys. And here I do some work with Grave Mood Rings, my friend Craig. And these guys are top notch with their video production, and it's very abstract comedic stuff based on horror, you know. So we're going to get out of this really quick, but I wanted to say, you know, just feel free to always check out my YouTube, because I do drop the videos in Instagram and Facebook, but they get deleted after a while. You know, they're not having it. They're not keeping it on their platform, you know. Dude, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. You don't know, because I've been in bands, and now I'm just having fun, and I'm just another dork with a laptop. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it, Jeffrey, man. Thank you, for real. Thank you. And so we're going to share another little thing here. We're going to expound upon Clarissa Cates. But first, we're going to go to Bandcamp. And this is where I could be supported as an indie artist. It seems like this is the website, you guys. It seems like Bandcamp is the one that supports, because they do these Bandcamp Fridays. They announce it once every like 1 or 2 months or something. They do. And then everything that when you go to this site and you support the artist, all the money goes to them. So I really appreciate that. And of course, we're going to go to Psychotronic Squirt Gun. And these are all my EPs and albums. A lot of this stuff I'm in the process of redoing. Here's Loops of Redemption. A lot of them have, you know, their full albums. Some of them like this weird scenes behind the toy labyrinth. This has like 32 songs, you know, and so does Action Epiphanies. I do like my stuff, but I'm in the process of re-recording parts of it, and I'm also getting it professionally mastered. So that's what these songs that are hitting every week to you guys. It's a labor of love, you know. So you go to Psychotronic Squirt Gun, the first EP here, and soon all these songs will be redone. And right now we're going to Dr. Clarissa Cates, right? So we go to the very first song of hers, which is The Good Doctor. And I'll read a little bit of this too. Dr. Clarissa Cates. Well, Dr. Clarissa's story begins here. Meet Dr. Clarissa Cates. She's absolutely bemused over her sister and has some thoughts of her own about her and her new age ways, right? Dr. Cates is also pretty intense. She wants to find a cure for mental illness, not just categorize various forms of it and subscribe medication accordingly. She knows the solution for this is out there, so she's convinced. I forgot to mention that her sister is Celia. We hear a lot about Celia later in her new age ways, right? You know, she kind of, Dr. Clarissa Cates regards her sister as a flake, you know. And one time her sister actually had a mental breakdown as well. So you can imagine that. But Dr. Clarissa Cates managed to help her sister. So that's pretty cool, right? Now I'm going to play a little bit of The Good Doctor here for you guys. The problem with doing this is that on the StreamYard, it doesn't process the music very well. You hear it really loud, and then it's kind of washed out. So I don't even know if I'm going to play the whole thing, but here we go. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking of her sister. The good doctor has some concerns. How on earth could her sister think that way? So that's indie rock, and I want to answer Jeffrey's question here. If I do all the instruments, I'm mostly a guitar strummer, singer songwriter, and I use Ableton Live, and I use this pad a lot. So it is all of me. It's not AI. I don't need AI. And the reason why I say I don't need AI is because I use the Bob Pollard Guided by Voices method of, he used to do the album first and then the words. And so that's what I do. I do the words first and I create everything around the words, But yeah, appreciate you guys. And so we're gonna remove this. There we go. And we'll come back to that. And now we're gonna, like I described earlier in the video, I had some false starts, and so I used to do videos I would go like live for 5 minutes before most people could get on, and then describe the song, and and then get out of there. And I used to use those, but I'm gonna see how well I did there. So I'm gonna stop screen. Yep, I got to do that. And we're gonna go back. So this might seem narcissistic, but I'm gonna chop up this stuff for my Wednesday explain videos, you guys. So thanks for being here and saying hi to me. Now this is me back in the day, dude, like a year ago, describing Clarissa Cates. Let's see if how I do here. What's up, dude? What's up, Brandon? Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. I want to call you. Brandon is a fellow Pacific Northwester, right? You're out here in Washington State with me. So why don't we do this? No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. There we go. What? Why can't I just move this over? Well, it looks like I can't do that. What a ripoff, man. It's a ripoff, right? It's a ripoff. All right, so we're going to play this, my dorky self from a year and a half ago. Okay. Hey, everyone. Last stream, I told everyone that I created this world. And so today, really quick, yeah, this is my very first video back then. So you could tell I was just blundering through it. About the very first character in this world, and her name is Dr. Clarissa Cates. Right? Yeah. And she became a psychiatrist due to her childhood. She was precocious as a child, and she had a best friend who was precocious as well. Yeah, and they were really tight, and they were talking about things that you wouldn't expect children to talk about. No, you wouldn't. And so what happened was one day they had a fight, and the next day, Dr. Clarissa Cates' friend ended up going mentally ill. Yeah. And that really I could put these glasses that really upset her. And as she grew into adulthood, yo, Easy, what's up, man? I'm just talking about the character right now, and then I'm gonna read the lyrics, and then I'm gonna if anyone's around, I'll talk. But thank you for being here, bro. I really appreciate it. Look how humble I am. But yeah, so her best friend when she was a kid. That was Easy Comic Reader, by the way. Mike used to stream with him. Went mentally ill, and it really upset her. And so she dedicated her life as an adult to cure mental illness, right? And so that's what drives her. And she comes from a good home, but she has this wacky sister, right? And, the sister is kind of like a new ager, right? Into all kinds of stuff, out there stuff, and She sometimes questions her, her perception. So I'm going to read the lyrics of the song of this introducing this first character. So I was going to read from a notebook, but I can't find it. It's probably in the other room. So I do a probably hack job. I'm actually reciting the words here. But yeah, her sister too, Celia. You're going to hear a lot from Celia. She went crazy too in the past. That's not a nice way to put it, but actually, her sister was able to help her sister where she couldn't help her best friend, childhood friend there, Maryland. Mary. Mary ended up offing herself, and that's horrible, man, terrible. And so she's driven. Here it goes. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking of her sister. The good doctor has some concerns. How on earth could her sister think that way? Clarissa thinks she's running from something within her own self and tells her that. But Celia, her sister, quips back entertainingly enough. She seems well adjusted in her life, even happy. So what's with the obsession with ancient aliens and secret space programs? I'm reciting this from memory. And government conspiracies, to cover them up. So I should have read this, but what's the obsession with ancient aliens? In secret space programs and stuff like that. Her freaking sister is nuts in some way. What up, Tat? Thanks for being here, dude. Really appreciate you. And I love you guys. I love Matt. Actually, Matt and I hang out, So we're going to finish this one right here. The good doctor sits into her office and sits into her chair at her desk and smiles. She's grateful for her sister. Not everyone comes from a good home, and her siblings are her best friends. And it ends by she did have a childhood best friend, though, who she still thinks about. Someday she wants to... you guys get the picture, right? So... like I said, this might seem narcissistic, but I'm going to be chopping all this stuff up into my Wednesday show. And hey, what is going on, Joe D. McPhee? Loved your Saturday show, man. It's like you're totally loose and just having fun. And Tat was there too. Really appreciate my friends, man. Appreciate you guys so much. And so now we're going to go back to... Well, what'd you miss? You guys, it's okay if you miss something because I'm going to chop these up and do a concise Wednesday morning premiere where there's a live chat. And then some of you guys already know about that. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for being cool to me. So we're going to share another screen here. And we heard this song already. It's called The Good Doctor. This is Dr. Clarissa Cates' introduction song. And then, as you guys know, on Bandcamp, I provide links in the track songs themselves, and their story is scattered along albums. So the albums will not reflect a cohesive linear storyline. So this one is called Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way. And she sees her first client of the day, Mr. Orton. So here it is. The story so far. After pondering her new age sister, Dr. Clarissa Cates awaits her first client of the day, Mr. Orton. This is the only client she has that slightly disturbs her. He's a really weird guy. You know what I mean? And she's not exactly sure why. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit of this. And like I said, please check it out on Bandcamp itself, because the the songs sound way better than they're going to sound streaming right now.
Her first appointment of the day is Mr. Orton. He's due to arrive in a few minutes, but actually, to her surprise, there's already a knock on the door. It must be him already.
Yeah.
She calls off for him to come in as he steps through the threshold. He greets her momentarily, but his eyes shift, and then he quickly jerks his head as if maneuvering away from an unwanted pet on the head. Mr. Orton wasn't always this way.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I freaking love that tune. So a lot of these songs were recently redone, man, because they just freaking weren't up to snuff. I had to re-record so many of these earlier things, and now they're streaming everywhere. I got a professional masterer. Everything's flowing now, you know? Have you thought about filming this like a rock opera, like Rock and Rule? I don't know, man. You know? Thank you for asking that, Joe. I don't know where this is going to lead. All I know is I'm going to be doing this for years, every week, to the best of my ability, dropping a song, talking about the song, stuff like that. Thank you so much, Brandon, man. I really appreciate you. You know, you're a music producer yourself, man. Hey, what's up, Tat? My drummer, Tat. What's going on, dude? Are you in California yet? Are you leaving soon? So we're gonna remove this one here, and we're gonna go. I'm only gonna do 4 songs because I'm doing this so I could chop it up later. I keep saying that, but we're gonna stop that screen. And I don't know if this is if I'm going to continue doing things like this, like, you know, what? Yeah, this is it. I don't know if I'm going to continue showing these old clips of me describing the songs. I thought I would be reading the lyrics. I didn't want to reread the lyrics, but we'll see what happens. Hey everyone, Psychotronic Squirt gun coming at you with another stream, and I decided just to do this really fast. Jump on here and do episode 2. You can tell I was new at doing this. Episode 2 of the Dr. Clarissa Cates series, and this one's about. I just want to encourage everyone that watches this who doesn't think they could do this, that in the beginning it's weird and then you get used to it, you know, and not everyone's articulate, you know, and just do it, you know. Her patient called Melvin Orton, who's a real troubled individual, and yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I have my lyrics right here, right, in case I don't remember. But this is the description of the scene. The last episode, Dr. Clarissa Cates was introduced, and she was contemplating her sister, and she came into the office, and now she's expecting her patient, Mr. Melvin Orton. Yep. So here it is. Mr. Orton. Her first appointment of the day is Mr. Orton. That's right. He's due to arrive in a few minutes, but actually, to her surprise, there's already what up, Dr. Silver Age? A knock on the door. It must be him already. She calls out for him to come in
And as he steps through the threshold, she greets him. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So she's in her office, and Mr. Orton shows up, and this patient actually makes her the most nervous. See, there's Easy Comic Reader, man. I used to stream with Easy.
She calls out for him to come in. As he steps through the threshold, he greets her momentarily, but his eyes shift, and then he quickly jerks his head as if maneuvering away from an unwanted pet on the head. But Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. He once turned on the light on his phone to see, but it flashed him.
So yeah, Mr. Orton, this is his story why he went schizo paranoia guy, right? He once opened his phone and a light struck him in the eyes,
brightly in the eyes instead, or so he says. Ever since then, he's feeling overly anxious about, let me see here.
So about matters he never worried about before. Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. I'm going to go forward a little bit.
Yet appear to fill him with dread.
Here we go.
Mr. Orton wasn't always this way.
Yeah.
His descriptions are vague, yet appear to fill him with dread.
Yeah, dude.
The light obviously triggered childhood trauma, she thought to herself. Something he experienced or witnessed long ago that he is not consciously aware of. The brain sometimes makes some strange associations, she mused. But Mr. Orton wasn't always this way.
This is great. This is like, I'm
So
very
that's it,
humbled.
you guys. Thanks, Easy, for swinging by. Appreciate Easy Comic Reader. Songs ready, then the comic book calls for some reason.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to redo these, I guess. Man, it's kind of humbling, looking at how you were and you thinking you could just do, well, I could just edit the heck out of that, so you're gonna take a nap. Hey, Dr. Silver Age, we were talking, I was thinking about what you were saying to me, and I think I want to be a guest on your Saturday show. I think that would be freaking awesome, actually. Okay, man, you have a good nap. So this is an experiment. Thanks for being here. So I showed this, Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. This was the second song of Dr. Clarissa Cates. And now, and I always loop back. I always go, I always show in every song what the first song was, which is the good doc. Oops, insights interest him. I made a mistake there. No, right here is where I loop back. And there's the good doctor. Then I go to Mr. Orton wasn't always this way, which we just heard. And now the third song is insights interest him, and we're going to listen to this, but I'm going to tell you the story so far. Dr. Clarissa Cates listens to Melvin Orton's seemingly unstable mind carry on about how a light somehow permanently changed his brainwaves. Okay, so he's like a paranoid schizophrenic guy who showed up into her office ducking his head, and things were around him and stuff like that. Somehow he had intense insights afterwards, after this flash of light, where he could read into mundane matters and glean profound information, which, according to him, he could use to help his life. So this guy this guy supposedly could read into other people's subconscious and glean information that had cosmic significance. Right? So Clarissa was like, whoa, but you know, she's of course a professional. So cool, man. Thanks for being here. I know I love it that my friends just show up even when some of these older videos are slow and boring. Like I gotta totally reread these, I think.
She began.
So this is the third song.
She began by asking him how his day was. Uneventful for the most part. He replied, then stopped himself short, as if refraining from saying the next thing. Listen, he continued, I've been entirely honest with you. She asked him about what he began to reveal, what he thought he knew. After the incident, he began to understand the world in different ways. At first, the insights interest him.
Well, that's now, you guys, if you go to Bandcamp itself and you play it, it's going to sound so much better than when we're streaming. But you know, that's just the way it is. So this is insights interest him, and so it's still Mr. Orton is talking to Dr. Clarissa Cates in their session here. So this takes place over probably about 4 or 5 songs, but we're only going to do 4 songs right now, and we're going to remove that, and we're going to stop that screen, and I'm starting to get better at this. And I'm going to subject you to this. Hopefully this one's better.
Hey, everyone.
Nope.
I'm back with another episode of Dr. Clarissa Cates. And first I want to say, you know, thank you for, you know, people who are being cool to me. Thanks for coming along on this journey.
Yeah. We're going to move forward a little bit.
Mr. Orton, guys, it really means a lot to me, even if you don't.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Clarissa Cates, you know, she came into her office thinking about her sister and her nutty new age sister and how she doesn't relate to her. And then Mr. Orton, Melvin Orton came into the office.
Yeah.
And that's what the second song was about. In this third song now, you know, she's in session with him. So I'm going to read from this.
Yeah, dude.
And like I said, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for being cool to the channel. It means a lot. All right, so this song is called Insights Interest Him. So she began by asking him how his day was.
Right.
Uneventful for the most part, he said back. He replied, then stopped himself short, as if refraining from saying the next thing. Listen, he continued, I haven't been entirely honest with you.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Craig.
She asked him about when
Thanks
he
for joining
began
me,
to
man.
reveal what he thought he knew after the incident, which was this flash of light on his phone that kind of seemingly drove him crazy.
Yeah.
He began to understand the world in different ways. At first, the insights interest him.
Next time I'm going to read.
I knew somehow that information around him related directly to him. In what way, she asked. She was hoping for him to drop his guard. Now, this way was the only way to truly help him.
Yeah, she was hoping to drop his guard.
Dr. Cates continued to listen to Melvin.
Yeah.
Endeavor to explain himself. She remained calm and collected. And
yeah, you guys. So I won't do this again. I'm gonna do one more song showing an older thing. I thought I could just chop this up because I thought I did a better job reading this stuff. But yeah, hey, Craig, our buddy Hans, Captain Strangelife, shouted your channel out. Grave Mood Rings. He did it at the end of his video. Please sub up my friend Craig, man. You guys are awesome. And what's up, Jeff? I shouted you out earlier today when I showed the page too. Okay, so we're going to do one more song. Yeah. We're going to do one more song. And she's still talking to Mr. Orton. She's in session with Mr. Orton. He explained that, he opened his phone one day and a light flashed him in the eyes and it totally changed him, in which he could peer into, or he could be present with anyone and he could read their subconscious and feel like he knew what was happening spiritually in the world. And also the reverse was true for him, like when people were speaking the reverse. So he knew that he felt like he had he thought he had a line of communication to the greater mind, the collective unconscious of humanity. And this guy was freaking seemingly out of his mind. And Dr. Clarissa Cates was very nervous around him, that she would, and she's really possesses fortitude of mind. But as I said earlier, she's just obsessed with, with curing mental illness for reasons I stated earlier. Okay, so we're going to do one more song, and then I'm going to call it here. I'm going to share this again. This we just listened to Insights Interest Him, and it's off of the Best Part Yet album. And of course, like I say, always when you go to the tracks themselves, there's a little synopsis here. You click on her very first song, Dr. Clarissa Cates' very first song, which are scattered along different albums. So this is the Cloud Pusher album. Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way. And we just heard Insights Interest Him. And I think the next one, we're going to stay on this little EP here for the title track, The Best Part Yet, right? And I was putting the back of the, I was making, my wife and I, we would create the album covers and front and back, and I was putting the backs on a lot of these. I don't know if I needed to do that, but here's the story so far. Dr. Clarissa Cates continues to listen to Mr. Melvin Orton. She's convinced as she's listening that this man is a paranoid schizophrenic. But then he does something that changes her life forever. Something very, very strange happens here. But let's hear the song first. Here we go. Now, like I say, this is not going to sound as good. So please go to bandcamp.com to check out these songs. Or any place where I'm streaming.
At first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking and would say things related to where he was at. But then he understood the conscious minds around him, i.e. other people were not that conscious. Unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online.
love those synths. It probably doesn't sound as great over the streaming. Like I said, I invite you to go to Bandcamp and listen to some of my songs. And that's we're gonna try. That's it for 4 songs, right? Now I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try to see if this video is good, but if not, maybe I'll just read it myself. Although I just X'd out on it like a dork. But I don't rehearse these things, you guys. Hey, Kenneth is here. What up, Mr. Bird? Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate you, man. Really do. Let's see if I do better reading the freaking lyrics here. Hey, guys. Psychotronic Squirt gun here. You know that because you clicked on the video. But yeah, super busy these days. And January's pretty crazy for me, because I do the Januaries. Is mentally disturbed. Okay, so we'll back it up a little bit. Norton, who is about Dr. Clarissa Cates, and she's still interviewing Melvin Orton, who is mentally disturbed by the amount of information that he can read into, apparently, or something. There's my cat. And yeah, so this is part 4, I think, of the Clarissa Cates, who is a psychiatrist who had a childhood friend. Yep. Who went insane, right? She went insane. My kitty. And because of that, as you guys know, my kitty made her musical debut in the last song, called the #1 song, which was a lot of fun. She just does that. She jumps in, she gets crazy. You know how cats are. Obsessed with curing mental illness. So here it is. Here's the next part here. I'm reading the lyrics. And thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Even though, whatever. Okay. At first it was as if people knew what Melvin Orton was thinking. Okay, so he's laying down in a couch, and telling his psychiatrist, Dr. Clarissa Cates, this stuff. So at first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking. Yeah. And would say things related to where he was at. But then he understood the conscious minds around him, i.e., other people weren't that conscious. Unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online that directed what they should say to him. Suddenly seems like a Philip K. Dick novel, Clarissa thought to herself, but couldn't say out loud they were in session. She instead asked him why he thought he was so important that such a large group of people would do this. He said he didn't know, but hasn't even gotten to the best part yet. That so much has happened to him that he doesn't know where to start. But there was an awful influence. Yeah, awful influence on him, like blanketing him. And he doesn't know what to do. Can you describe it better? She asked. No, but you can have some of it. And then her life changed. All right. So I'll leave it there. We're going to leave it there. And thanks, you guys. So what happened was and then the next, so he's in session with his psychiatrist, and his psychiatrist, Dr. Clarissa Cates, asked him, can you describe it better? And no, but you can have some of it, some of what he was talking about, some of this, what he thought is power within him, but it was foul. It's foul. It's freaking reverse. He he could read into the subconscious minds around him. He could also identify information. He could extract information and know what was going to happen. Weird stuff, man. He was out of his freaking mind, it seemed like, but it all happened because of this light on his phone. And when she asked him, could you describe this better? He said, no, but you could have some of it. And then he does something to her at the end of that song. Okay. And then we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. I said I would do this for about an hour. I think 4 songs was enough. This kind of was a failed experiment. Next time I do this in a month or so, I'm going to read the freaking lyrics myself and talk to you guys. I'm not going to refer to the older videos, because the older videos, but also, it was a good thing I did the older videos. For anyone watching this who doesn't think they can do this, do it. Just do it. You get used to it. Okay, so this is from my friend Rod. As I told you before, I really love your world building with all these characters. At some point, will they meet each other and form a team or something? Yeah, they will, but it's not coming for years or something. So I'm like, every week, and especially for some reason, the first songs, it took a while to get the plot going. I don't know why. But they're songs in themselves. So I'm going to be dropping a song a week. For the next almost 2 months, it's going to be Dr. Clarissa Cates. And I'm excited. Dr. Clarissa Cates. And then after that, I think it's going to be Daisy Ashcroft, the martial arts badass, who's also not only a disciplinary of the body in fighting, but she's a disciplinary of the mind as well. Hey, Christina, what's up? Thank you for saying hi. Thanks for swinging by. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, and if you want to pencil me in on your Saturday, just let me know what's available on your show, Rod. I'll totally. I'll wake up early. I'll kick the wife out of bed, and we'll do it. I just got to know ahead of time, Cool, you guys. You guys rock. You all know each other. And that is Dr. Clarissa Cates. I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like I want to read the lyrics myself if I could find them. But so I don't have to freaking do this again. No, this is for my Monday show. I'm doing the Monday show, you guys. I'm doing the Monday show. Oh, I don't know where it is. I might be able to find the lyrics and just start reading the lyrics. That way I could do it now. That way I could chop it up later. All right, I think I got him. Thanks for the patience. I think I got this. Yeah, I got it. All the stuff I wrote down, man, years ago. I've been writing these songs for years. So I'm just gonna do this. I was gonna end the freaking stream, but I'm just gonna do this. Thank you, Christina. Will do. Yeah, man. I want to be on your show, man. You know me, it was hard to get up for the show because I love your show, but I have to rewatch the stuff you show on your show. All right. Here's The Good Doctor, the #1 song, or her first song. I shouldn't say the #1 song. It introduces Dr. Clarissa Cates. Pardon me. The Good Doctor. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking of her sister. The good doctor, Dr. Clarissa Cates, has some concerns. How on earth could her sister think that way? Clarissa thinks she's running from something within her own self and tells her that. But Celia, her sister, quips back entertainingly enough. She seems well adjusted in her life, even happy. So what's the obsession with ancient aliens and secret space programs? So she's really concerned about her new age sister here, Celia Cates, right? Who actually had a mental breakdown after Dr. Clarissa Cates' best friend, childhood friend, had a mental breakdown when they had an argument because they were both precocious. Her childhood friend and her, they're both precocious, and they're talking about big concepts. And then one day, her best friend, they were only like 10. It got really heated, the debate, and then suddenly something snapped within her friend. Her friend is Maryland, and she went to an institution, and then she later committed suicide, tragically enough. And this is what drives Dr. Clarissa Cates. Well, later on in her life, her sister, her new age sister, kind of went through this something similar, if you could believe it, but she was able to help her sister. So what's the obsession with ancient aliens and secret space programs, right? And government conspiracies to cover them up. The good doctor steps into her office and thumps down on her office chair. At her desk and smiles, she is grateful for her sister. Not everyone comes from a good home, and her siblings are her best friends, okay? So they did come from a good home, but tragedy could still hit good people, good homes. She did have a childhood best friend, though, who she still thinks about. Someday, she would like to see a cure for mental illness, and that's why she is who she is, the good doctor. So that's number one. Second song picks up, obviously, after the first one, with her thumping down in her office chair, right, and all that. So the second song is called Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way. And her first appointment of the day is Mr. Orton. He's due to arrive in a few minutes, but actually, to her surprise, there's already a knock on the door. It must be him already. She calls out for him to come in, and as he steps through the threshold, he greets her momentarily, but his eyes shift, and then he quickly jerks his head as if maneuvering away from an unwanted pet on the head. Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. He once turned on the light on his phone to see, but it flashed him brightly in the eyes instead, or so he says, right? Because they're still in session, and he's telling her these things. This is not the first time he told her either. But getting back to his story, ever since the flash, ever since then, he's feeling overly anxious about matters he never worried about before. And Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. His descriptions are vague, yet appear to fill him with dread, absolute dread. You could see it in his eyes. He knows something terrible is coming. The light obviously triggered childhood trauma, she thought to herself. Something he must have experienced or witnessed long ago that he's not consciously aware of. The brain sometimes makes some strange associations, she mused. Yet Mr. Orton wasn't always this way, you know? So it's interesting. It's interesting to try to diagnose someone who later in life has seemingly it has trauma for seemingly no reason other than a light flashed them in their eyes from their phone, you know. So that's the second song. So we're only gonna do 4 songs reading, and then I'm done. And I can take this video and chop it up later. Oops, now I got it. Now that's other characters, so now I got to go find the next Clarissa Cates. Crowds of extra. Insights interesting. This is the third one. This is the third song. She's still in session with Mr. Orton. Dr. Clarissa Cates began by asking him how his day was. Uneventful for the most part, he replied, then stopped himself short as if refraining from saying the next thing. Okay? Listen, he continued. I haven't been entirely honest with you. She asked him about what he began to reveal, what he thought he knew after the incident of the phone flashing in his eyes. But once that happened, he understood the world in different ways. And at first, the insights interest him. So, you know, there's all kinds of the collective human, the collective unconscious of humanity, right? We all know who started that, who made that famous, but he didn't know about that. He didn't know these psychiatrists. He was experiencing it and he was getting information from it. So he knew somehow that information around him related directly to him. Okay? Everything related directly to him. In what way, she asked. She was hoping for him to drop his guard. You know, this way was the only way to truly help him. Dr. Cates continued to listen to Melvin, endeavor to explain himself. She remained calm and collected. Okay, so that's the third one, and the last one we'll talk about is I'm almost at an hour. Very good. The fourth song is called "The Best Part Yet." So we have like 3 songs of her just being in session with Mr. Orton, you know. So at first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking. This is what, according to his perspective. He really thought that his brain was somehow linked to some type of server that was accessing his thoughts. This is what he's trying to explain to her. At first, it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking and would say things related to where he was at. So people would say things to him related to where he was at, but they couldn't come out and tell him. This is because Dr. Clarissa Cates believes him to be a paranoid schizophrenic. But then he understood that the conscious minds around him, i.e. other people, were not that conscious. So he started questioning his previous ideas. Unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online. So he's still trying to balance this in his brain. Is this real? Is this not real? Why am I becoming more powerful by these insights? So unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online that directed what the people around him should say to him. Suddenly, it seems like a Philip K. Dick novel. She thought, Dr. Clarissa Cates thought, as she was listening to his story, but couldn't say out loud. They were in session. She instead asked him why he thought he was so important that such a large group of people would do this. He said he didn't know, but hasn't even gotten to the best part yet. That so much has happened to him that he doesn't even know where to start. But there was an awful influence on him, like blanketing him, and doesn't know what to do. You know, so he doesn't know that how his ability to read into the information around him was coming from his brain, or if there was some terrible influence on him that was giving him this information. So this guy was, right? He seemed like he was just crazy. And then Dr. Clarissa Cates asked him, "Can you describe this better?" She asked. No, but you can have some of it. And then her life changed. And when he did that, he did this. He was laying there and she says, "Could you describe this better?" And he was like, "No, but you could have some of it." And he did this motion to her, and it changed her forever. So that's where we're gonna stop it there at the best part yet. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for those who actually watched. It's okay. Not everyone can. We're all busy. Shout out to Rumble. I don't know anybody in Rumble, you know. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Jeffrey, who actually likes the music. Thank you so much, man. And it's okay if you guys don't. It's like indie rock, but Jeffrey understands indie rock, it seems to me, because he brought up Jonathan Richman. And shout out to YouTube, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And that's it. Have a wonderful day.